What's up, guys? I'm here to make a video, and this video is going to be pretty informative. It's about INFPs and INFJs. I called it INFJ and INFP secrets, friendship secrets, because no one really tends to know much about it. Only the two in it, so it's usually kind of like something that they just don't talk about. So I'm here to reveal that to you guys, and hope you enjoy it. I love watching the Myers-Briggs videos because they always have something to share as far as cognitive functions, but this isn't about that. This is about like real life experience and pattern recognition, I guess. Even though it's not one of my strengths, but it doesn't matter. All right. So one thing about INFJs and INFPs is you can really tell between Drake and Lil Wayne. I don't know if you guys listen to them, but they're a perfect example. Lil Wayne has this creative, insane style of doing things, and it's like super stylish. It shows, if you see an INFP walking, you just know. And then INFJs have this really creative, rare diamond like brain, and they're super compassionate. And when you see them, they kind of look normal, really, and it's really interesting because once you get to know them and meet them, you're like, wow, dude, you're so freaking amazing. So it's really different because one of them it's hidden, the INFJ, and the other one it is showing, the INFP. And so it's really interesting between Drake and Lil Wayne, because what draws Drake to Lil Wayne, INFJ to the INFP, is that the INFP has this intuition externally, so they can see shit that's like amazing, and they just come up with a creative, insane way of doing things, and they're really like personally emotional, and when you see them, you can really tell because it's just like when an INFJ sees an INFP's like emotional, individualistic, creative way of doing things, it's just like, man, I am that, but it's all like in me, and it's all hidden from everybody, and no one can see it. So, man, that kind of sucks. But I'm gonna hang out with you, and hopefully I can learn and become you. That's kind of really what it is with the INFJ. And with the INFP, if they meet an INFJ, they'll see that they're really, really compassionate towards other people, and that they have this crazy way of looking at things, just like them, except it's more intense. So the INFJ sees this, and they're like, "Man, I can't show emotion towards other people as well as you can, and just you're so deep, man. I wish I could be you." So it's this really egotistical reason for them to be together. It's really one wanting to be the other one while the other one wants to be them, and that's what really draws them so close. So it's funny, in one of Lil Wayne's songs, he has a verse, and he says no, we want to be them, and they want to be us. So that's really a good way to define the relationship, and it's really interesting because it's kind of like it's like a it's like having your hero. I don't know who you guys' hero is. It's like having a hero. Mine's like Iron Man or something. It's like having your hero and then them wanting to be you. And it's just really interesting because you're just like, oh, man, you're so awesome. Let's just hang out like all the time. And your hero's like, dude, you're so awesome. Let's hang out all the time. And you're like, yes. Although the INFJs tend to be more needy. But anyways, yeah, this is just a quick example. You guys can kind of know the difference. It's really a lot of jealousy and love and hate in the relationship, because you see like your hero doing a whole bunch of awesome shit, and you're just like, oh, like I wish I was you. I wish I could do that. Like, it's like a really intense jealousy, and the INFJ sees the INFP sees the INFJ like super deep in thought, concentrated, and just like knowing shit, and you're just like, like, what? Why can't I have magical powers? And a really big one is INFPs are extremely. I don't know if they'll like say this out loud, but they are. They're extremely jealous of the INFJ's warmth, and that's just kind of fact. It's so crazy because with an INFJ, you could say like they would usually say towards like in a relationship they would say, "Man, I love you so much," and just like, "I bought you this present, and it's so sentimental to me. Just please, like, guard it with your life because this action right here is just something that I want to share with you, you know?" And then that, like, so compassionate, so warm, and the girl's like, "Ah, please take me." And then the INFP sees this and it's just like, fuck, man. Why can't I be that compassionate and warm and like sincere and genuine? Because when the girl gets this present from the INFJ, like, you can see that the INFJ means this with like their whole soul, and it's crazy. And the INFPs are like, "Ugh, I wish I could show my emotion like you. You're so awesome." Ugh. And then the INFJ sees the INFP going crazy, like with their intuition, you know, like they would text the INFJ would text the INFP, "Hey, what's up? What are you up to, man?" INFP would be like, "Nothing much," and then they would send them like a picture of something crazy awesome, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. So they have like this huge things of like mind blowing, awesome, creative shit that's just like, whoa, you know? And then the INFJ's like, "Dude, how'd you find that? Where did you get that from? Blah, 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 blah. That's so awesome. Oh my God. That's like what I always think about, but I never share to anybody, you know? That kind of thing." And the INFJ's like, "Ugh, I wish I could extrovert my intuition like you," because INFJ, let's be realistic. They think about crazy shit. Like, they think about, for example, an INFJ and INF friend that I know, like, the INFJ will always be like deep in thought, thinking like, "Man, I hope I don't, like die tomorrow because then all of my stuff will be nothing. Maybe I should just kind of live in a village in Mexico and grow corn for the rest of my life and really enjoy my family and blah blah blah." And they're just so deep in thought, but they don't share this with anybody, so they're just in their room locked up and just kind of like, yeah, like out of their body. They're just fucking in like space and shit. And the INFP is like, the INFP the next day shares on Facebook, "Man, it's so crazy how Aaliyah died. She had so much to live for. I love my fam and everybody else. I'm here for you and let's get it on," you know? And then the INFJ is like, "I didn't tell anybody that I was thinking about that, and they just shared it, and blah blah blah." And then the INFP, like, the next day posts something else super like crazy thinking, and then she's like, "I was thinking about that too, but I didn't get to tell anybody." And it's just like, duh. And so this is really like love hate thing, because if you don't watch out, the INFJ can start to really despise the INFP, which is real. You know, that's real. You can get jealous and hate the other person. And then the INFJ is like going up to girls like, "Hey, you know what? You're so adorable. We need to hang out because you look like somebody that I'd really like to kick it with," you know? And the INFJ is like, "Ugh, I wish I could share that to the girls and show it sincerely like you." So, ugh. Anyways, yeah, that's just a little overview, and it's so true with every relationship that I've seen so far. Um, but it can really be amazing if you watch it, you know, because the INFP could be like, "Wow, you know, that's so cool. Hey, can you teach me how to do that? I'm just gonna hang out around you and start like kind of making that grow in myself because I feel like I can't, like I don't have that trait." And then the INFJ can see the INFP going like intuition crazy, just one after the other, and you could be like, "Man, I need to learn how to do that because that's really cool. So I'm gonna hang out with you and ask you questions and just learn," you know. So it can be like they're like brothers because they both, INFP like really has these deep, intimate feelings towards other people like the INFJ, but they don't really share that, you know, and because they don't feel like they really have the same kind of like ability to. And then the INFP has this really creative side that shows on everybody, and the INFJ really feels that, you know, inside of his head and really like thinks about that all the time. So anyways, I was hoping to make this quick video, but guess I didn't. Hope you guys like it. Later.